Brother, are you all right?
No, I am not all right. I just shared a bottle of Kanar with Damar. That rhymes.
You're drunk.
Of course I'm drunk.
Well, good evening. Evening, afternoon, whatever the hell it is, on whatever planet you're on. This is a welcome return to a little bit of normalcy. Excuse me, and we're doing things a bit different this week because, well, why the hell not? First shows of the brand new year, might as well just do an open free-for-all on both instances of the show this week. Because, well, alright, I'll be honest. Part of it is because a couple things happened in real life, so two of the regular panel members are not available this week. So, just kind of winging it, just having fun with it, which really is the main reason why we're here. To have fun, to have a little bit of escapism, to enjoy things for a while before they get ruined by another wondrous executive somewhere. CBS. Yes, I had to start with that dig because, well, that ship is in better shape than if CBS was actually trying to utilize it right now.
And that's the actual skin for this, for the Enterprise that they gave us.
What? Is that the Viridian 3 skin?
I have no idea. Let me take a look.
Let's see what they actually named it, because that would work. So, for those who might be living in a bubble when it comes to Star Trek-related properties, Burns today is playing Fleet Command, which is the mobile and cross-platform Star Trek Online Lite.
Here, I'll show you what this is without the refit. I'll take the skin off.
Oh, and that was a refit skin.
Yep. That's the original. That's what I'm given.
Yep.
The J.J. Abrams Enterprise.
Meh.
Well, that's how this game starts. You're put into the J.J. Abrams kind of universe, and then all kinds of stuff happens.
Your first quest is to fight out of it.
Yeah, except more of them end up coming in, because not only does it have the Kelvin timeline, they've brought in Prime timeline assets, and you have Discovery assets and Picard assets.
Nothing with Picard yet.
Thought the older Picard was one of the crew members.
We've got TNG Picard, but we haven't got into the Picard arc yet, because I believe after we're done with this story arc, I believe sometime this year we're moving into Deep Space Nine.
Oh, so they're gonna rape that one first. All right then.
I mean, yes, we've done the Borg. We've done several Borg arcs. We're working on the Klingon Romulan War arc. So in this case, because I don't have it unlocked yet, but let me see if I can bring it up. Eventually, in this arc, we can actually get. There it is. You can actually get a cloaking device for the Enterprise.
So they're going to open that up to beyond just the USS Pimp Hand.
Pretty much. Because the way the story arc was, is you rescued a scientist, if I'm not mistaken, from the Romulan side. He was actually a Romulan-Klingon hybrid. And you rescued him, and he was able to help you, I guess, achieve a cloaking device for the Federation.
Sure, why not?
And of course, we get cloaking devices for other ships, too.
Because that would totally not mess with a particular treaty, but what do I know?
Exactly.
Ah, it's treaty, schmeaty, who cares?
You know, I would love to get this one unlocked, but this is for the sarcophagus,
Oh,
or as we call it, the coffin.
Sure, we'll call it that.
Well, but the thing is, the kicker with the cloaking devices is, as you can see with this one, while the ship is cloaked, when you attack something, it increases the attack damage.
Well, yeah, because it's essentially surprise damage.
Yep.
From what I have learned about that game, I will give them credit in some of the elements from something like a tabletop RPG that they've brought in,
Yep.
like D&D or something like it, where you have like a rogue class, or a species that can sneak around, so you get damage bonuses for the surprise attacks like that.
Oh yeah, and it's also based on the ship in question too. So I mean, I've got this is my new Romulan ship. This is the Romulan Augur, it's called. It's, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, they do have further up the line. I'm too low level to get it yet. I believe they do have. Sorry. Let me see here, Romulan. The Pilum.
Yep, so they have the Valdor. They have
the Valdor.
The
Yep.
Pelham.
The Corvus is another Romulan ship as well.
The Tribune looks awfully a lot like a Daenerys.
I believe it is, or it's close to.
Well, it's a variant of it.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be. I think that's going to be my next. Once they get higher level, that'll be the next ship I'll be able to work towards. But the Augur itself is pretty powerful. Let me see. The reason why it's got an ability called Obliterate. As long as the ship is burning, opponent hits the Obliterate weapon, the Augur increases all weapons damage by 78%. I mean, if I'm a higher tiered ship, it does even more damage. But the Obliterate is a kinetic weapon, but the problem is it only fires every 3 turns in combat. So if I bring it up, it takes time to recharge.
Yeah.
Charge time 2, recharge time 3. You only get 1 shot, but critical damage 110%.
Well, keeping in mind that they start you off essentially in the Kelvin timeline.
Oh yeah.
Is the Romulan ship so powerful because it used to be a mining ship?
No, you're not talking about Nero's ship, are you?
It's a little bit of a reference to that.
No, this is what you're thinking of similar. This is called the Vidar. It's also based on Romulan Borg technology. You know, she's not a mining ship. She's got an AI on board and was created for Borg engagements.
But I thought the Romulans hate AI.
Let me see here. And when you start the game, you start off with this little gem. Sign in here. And I'll get a better view.
Okay.
Interesting.
This is what you start off with. It's called the Realta. Just a simple little compact single. It's got a single warp nacelle, and I think this is like, I'm not sure what the under nacelle's for.
Well, that's probably a secondary hull and not a nacelle. Think the Kelvin, but flipped.
That's what I'm thinking. Oh, yeah. The USS Kelvin is a ship I can get to eventually, but not high enough level even to open it yet. Yeah. And they classify it. I heard someone call it the glass cannon ship. It's powerful, but she's got weak defenses.
Gee, I wonder where they got the inspiration for that.
Yeah, so after the Realta, the next ship you can get your hands on, an Orion Corvette.
The potato.
The potato.
Icarus, this is Fleet Command.
Yeah, Star Trek Fleet Command. It's a mobile game. It's free to play. Yes, there is in-game purchasing option. And they have interviewed someone who is playing this for free, has not purchased any of the upgrades or anything, and he's currently like level 45. So, because I think they increased the level cap to 55 now.
Yeah, so you put the time in and you grind it. A free game like this, you can still get pretty far, pretty damn far.
Exactly. But and then we've got the first mining ship, the Fortunate.
I think they forgot to put MS in front of it.
And then we started to get into like the third party ships. This is a the fin drive. I believe this is a Tellarite design. Yep, this is a Tellarite design, Tellarite origin ship. I think we actually see them in, if I'm not mistaken, we've probably seen them in TNG or as like those background ships that kind of fly around or something.
Better chance at it. It looks more like what would have popped up on screen in a background establishing shot in Enterprise.
I think it was an Enterprise during the what was it, the 4th season, when they were attacking the Romulan, those 2 Romulan cloak. What do they call that ship?
Oh, the Hollow ship.
Yeah, that one.
That. They really, for as good as the Enterprise series was, there were still some timeline issues, but if you think of Enterprise as being in a third timeline, that is an offshoot of the First Contact event.
Almost like a beta timeline.
Yeah. You put it in an alternate timeline where things were affected simply because the Enterprise E went back, then it's easier to understand.
Yeah, and then the next ship you can unlock eventually is an upgraded miner called the Envoy.
That looks vaguely like a J class from.
I think they may have flipped them during Enterprise. They call this. It's an older cousin. Yeah. It's an advanced version, so it's an advanced version of the J class, if I'm reading this right.
That would explain it. That would explain the aesthetic.
The Fortunate is the original, and then it goes up from there. It's cheap. And then, of course, we have another third-party ship. It's an Enterprise. It's a Federation-type ship, but it's like, old school.
But why the huge gouge out of the saucer section?
Maybe they're trying to get inspiration from the Millennium Falcon.
Maybe.
Oh, then we
is
have
to push cargo containers.
There could be, and then we have to get the Andorians in on this. This is the Tala battleship.
And I will give this game that credit. When they're going to different species of ships, especially ones that have already been shown on screen, they're actually doing a good job at maintaining as much of the aesthetic as possible.
Yeah, based on the culture. So, and as we're moving up the line, they did introduce the Franklin storyline down the road.
Yep.
And they actually upgraded it because eventually then you can actually swap in the Franklin for the Franklin-A.
That... who was it? Who was it on Discord that blessed us with that wonderful conversation? Athens. Athens found a comment made on some video somewhere that Res Instance had chimed in on concerning those extra designations on a Starship registry in Trek. And I had to correct the boy. Because there was someone in there trying to say that, oh, well, they do that for either a new construction or a major refit. Nope. In canon, there are only 2 ships confirmed that have gotten the extra designation of a dash whatever series. Yeah. And that's the Enterprise and the Voyager.
Well, Enterprise, because Enterprise technically Enterprise herself, she went through how many major refits? 3, if I'm not mistaken, maybe 4.
The original Enterprise, went through. Let's say she did her initial 5-year mission with
Pike.
April.
Yeah, no. She had
April was
before,
first.
Oh yeah, before Pike there was another captain. You're right.
Yep. Robert
Then,
April.
then Pike.
Then Pike. Now
then Kirk.
There's a question of whether or not there was a refit a major refit between April and Pike, but there was definitely a refit between Pike and Kirk.
And then Kirk, and then when we got to the motion picture, she went through another refit.
Which in beta canon they split up into a couple. Like a phase 1 and a phase 2, almost like what the U.S. Navy did with the angle deck conversions of the World War II era aircraft carriers.
They made what, like 2 variants of the same ship?
Well, no, so real world history. When after World War II, and we have this massive fleet of carriers, the aircraft carriers.
Yep.
They wanted to start implementing some of the more of the lessons learned. So the aircraft carriers that they kept all went through modernization of one form. And they had the SCB-27 conversion, and then a couple other series that were individual, and one of them was a combined where we're doing all of it in one shot.
Yeah.
So you have some carriers like the Midway that in the span of about 15 years had a couple major refits happen because of these modernization projects.
Oh, yeah.
But then you have some of them towards the end, they only did one, but it was the equivalent of all of them.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. So going up the line here after Franklin, we also stay in the JJ universe.
The jellyfish.
The jellyfish, yep.
Which
she's not a bad ship.
No.
She was a good ship when everybody was still in like the tier 2 phases. So, and of course, yeah, we're showing this off earlier, the Bug, the Ferengi ship for mining Latinum.
Which again, they're keeping with the aesthetic.
Yeah.
I will give them that. They are keeping well with the aesthetic of the ships.
And of course, still in Star Trek, the Botany Bay. And this is supposed to be the JJ version of it.
Which they really didn't change much when you look at it. So
yeah, she's actually armed with. Let me assign it here. She uses photon torpedoes, and that's it. She's only got and a mining laser. And that's it. That's all. She's technically a miner. She's not a combat ship.
Well, but at least she can defend herself.
Yep. You see, you gotta love the looks of this. Yeah, she's meant for mining what's known as corrupted data and coded data. That's all, and that's what you use that for upgrades.
Oh, so she's an intelligence ship now.
Pretty much, yeah. So that was during the augment arc. So you still have the augments, and of course we have Discovery in here.
The wide-handled pizza cutter.
Yeah, pretty much. So in this case, she's a dual-purpose ship. She is an explorer class, but she's also a miner too, because she has to be able to mine the mycelium in order to jump across the galaxy using her spore drive. Now they can't make the spore drive OP, so it's limited by a certain warp range. So if you don't have the warp range, you can't jump there. So.
Interesting in-game mechanic.
This was a the way that they described this ship, the North Star. She was a freighter and a survey vessel and then she got converted into a miner, but she was mainly meant for moving families and communities, according to the description. So she's got a very small cargo space, but she's got a high mining rate.
So it's good to have a fleet of those.
Yeah, I only have one, but the reason why I keep her around is because she's got good strength and, the mining rate. It's like 13,000 indents.
Jeez.
1,300. And if you have, let me assign it here. Yeah, the mining rate is increased by 1% per total officer health portion of all officers on the ship. So if you get the officer health rate, and if you got the right crew on board, you can increase that. You can really get her a big mining bonus. So if you need to mine something really quick, she can do it. She's a fast ship too. She's faster than all the other miners. So you sacrifice speed, or you sacrifice cargo for speed.
Yeah, which that is typical. That does make sense.
Mm-hmm. Okay, where were we? This was one of the new ships they've added not too long ago, called the Meridian, and she is for mining specifically called ISO or isogen, which is pretty much another material you need for research and other things, and to upgrade the Meridian so you can get it further. But I do like the soul blades in the front.
Oh, so it's a hard mineral miner.
Yeah. So it's an interesting design versus all the other ships.
Well, it's interesting seeing them use mechanical means for mining instead of
like a beam weapon or a laser. I mean, technically, the way they have it listed, here it is, a tungsten boride grinder is what it's called.
With a 7-time mining bonus. Nifty.
Yeah, 700% mining bonus. So yeah, I won't be able to get to the next tier for I think a few more levels. But yeah, every time you go up a tier, you can increase its mining percentage, and of course, if you have the right crew on board, increase her mining speed as well. Because you have certain crew members out there who benefit in mining isogen, or we just call it ISO for short. Now this was an interesting thing. This is the Stella.
Reddens go faster.
Yes, but you remember you've heard the ship the Stella before. I hope it was mentioned by a certain Harry Mudd.
Yeah, that's.
This is supposedly his ship. And what makes this ship unique is if you get it to a certain point where you're ready to scrap it. When you scrap it, you get the resources from it, and you get some unique resources. Then you get to rebuild it again.
So you get it, you scrap it, you get the materials,
and then you rebuild it.
Then you can rebuild it.
Yep, and scrap it again. But here's the kicker: in order to get more materials, you have to have it at a higher tier level. And I believe she tiers out at tier 9 because I've got mine at tier 8. So at tier 9, you'll get the maximum resources, which is a shit ton. It just takes time to get up there. That's why I've got 2 Stellas. So you keep this one, and I use the other one to get it to only about tier 5, and then I scrap it.
Oh, that's one way to do it.
Yeah. I know some of my fellow players, they have 3 Stellas. So that's an interesting ship for Harry Mudd. Okay, this is the upgraded Tellarite ship. This is the Kira. From we saw the Findra earlier.
Yep.
So you can see it's definitely a little bit longer. It still isn't classified as an interceptor, just like the Kira was, or the Findra was earlier. Oh, here we go. The Franklin A. She's shiny.
That is an interesting aesthetic change.
Yeah, because you can see the difference between. Yeah, they've updated the nacelles and everything, and like this grid down inside the disc is updated. Yeah, look at the Bursard connectors are now more like a concave instead of a convex type. So it's got that more modern day, JJ, the plating on the hull, the grid plating. So we actually have our first Vulcan ship, the Vulkless. And I think I remember seeing this ship or something similar in Enterprise.
That looks.
It was the episode where they found that one Vulcan ship that was off by itself. That subgroup of Vulcans that were trying to balance emotions in. logic.
Oh, the ones who infected T'Pol.
Yes, this was the style of ship they were on, if I'm not mistaken. So we have some Vulcan ships. Oh yeah, this is the ECS Horizon, an upgraded miner, or independent miner, before we move into the faction miners. So yeah, bigger ship, got more storage capacity, all the goodies. She can I can get her up to warp 40 areas. So she's a good all-together ship. She's a multi-purpose. Her main thing is the lithium, but I can use her for mining other things. Okay, now we get into Shran's ship, the Kumari. This was an Enterprise for sure.
Yeah, that was the battle cruiser that...
Yep. And it even mentions it in the descriptions here, too.
Nice.
Yep. And it's interesting, you can actually see it right here, the Andorian logo, right on the hull. So, she's a nice ship. Okay, and then, yeah, earlier, I have some of the ships out, but this is like the ECS Horizon, but it's faction-specific. So this is the Klingon version of it. So her primary mining is crystal instead of dilithium. So it's pretty much the same ship. They just rewrapped this. They reskinned it with a different cover scheme. So not much difference. And now we're getting into some faction ships. Klingon D3. Nice little ship, interceptor, and she does have cloaking capabilities.
Yeah, well, it is a JJ verse, so...
Yep. And of course, this particular one does more damage against Romulan ships.
As it should. As it should.
Federation ship, the Mayflower. So hang on, if I get it. She kind of looks like...
It's the Miranda Light.
Well, not... Look how close the nacelles are tucked in under her versus... Yeah.
Which, to be honest, makes more sense.
Yep. Tuck them in. And of course, her thing, she's good against Klingon ships. Better. So, you gotta have the factions. Sorry. Gotta have the faction ships. Where was I? Miranda. First Romulan ship I started working on was the Legionary. There we go. So it kind of looks like, the Dieterix's younger brother kind of look to it. The wings, the beak-shaped nose.
Yeah, that is one thing that starting in the TNG era, going with that green definitive bird view of it definitely helped out.
Oh yeah. D3. There's a variant of the D3. This is the Augment. The Augment's storyline, you can actually have what's called the hijack class ships. So they hijack the D3, they hijack the Mayflower, and they hijack the Legionnaire. So you have different skin jobs on them. I just like the paint job. It's just that yellow.
That is pretty nifty.
And it's got the Augments actually has their own icon. It's like this eyeball kind of thing. You can see it here on the Legionnaire, right down here in the bottom of the beak.
Oh, that looks good.
Yep. Then we get into, I said we were talking about this one earlier, the Vidar. This is a Romulan Borg combination. They fitted. It's a big description here of what it was.
Yeah, I don't get how they go from let's add some massive spikes to it. Well, it must be the Borg.
Exactly. Make it look more threatening.
Because the Borg are known for ships that are very thin and spindly and spiky.
Yeah.
And then this may look familiar. The Klingon. This is the Borchus class battleship. I want to say this kind of reminds me of the old what is it they call them? The
Katinga.
Katinga or D7, yeah.
Yeah, the D7. This kind of reminds me of the D7s.
That definitely looks Klingon, yeah.
or is it the D6? I'm not sure which it would fall under.
Well,
I guess or I would say it's not a D7, but it looks very similar. So it's definitely Klingon style.
Yeah.
yeah, it's...
Yeah, rear photon launcher.
Well, keep in mind, the main difference between the D7 and the Katinga was size. That was it.
Oh yeah,
But that is also a very Klingon thing, that there are like I think 5 different versions of the bird of prey that are all just different size, but they look
and they
virtually
do have the Katinga on. They do have the Katinga. I don't have her unlocked because I'm too low level for her, but it is listed under ship cloaking. Right here it is, Katinga. It's a much bigger version of her.
Yeah.
Much thicker. Yeah, unfortunately I don't have her unlocked. It's going to be a while before I even get that level. But yeah, she's a good battleship. No, I used her for quite a bit. So, and then we get into another faction ship. This is another Romulan ship. This was the Centaurian. This was mainly meant for, I think, for defense, if I'm not mistaken. That's an interesting little ship. Back up. The Centaurian. Then we're moving up. Then we have the Saladin, or as we call her, the Sally.
The salt shaker.
The salt shaker. She's got the single nacelle, but it's longer versus what the Mayflower has. Yeah, the salt shaker. She's actually a pretty, still a useful ship. Once you get to a level 40, once you get above that, then you kind of need something better. The reason why is I think it's her kinetic weapon. Yeah, her kinetic weapon, the high impact torpedo, the damage it does. 68,000. Now I'm not at max level yet with this ship. I still got another tier to go, or a couple tiers to go. But yeah, her torpedo does a lot of damage, and the critical damage it does too. If you can get a critical shot, she will rip people up. It just takes time. She's a good ship, and a lot of people still use her. So next ship we have after the Sally. Now we're moving up in the Romulans, the Gladius.
Yeah, just a pop-eyed version of the first bird of prey.
Here's the kicker. I think they have that. Let me see here. Let me click on refit. Let me unlock the skins. They have a refit skin. If I have the auger.
Well, yeah, there's the TOS version.
Yeah, and if I have the auger, but I don't have the skin unlocked. If I got the skin unlocked, then it would look like the TOS ship. Yeah, just like with the I have the D4, but I can reskin it to look like a D7. This is the D7.
Yeah.
The TOS D7.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking the Bortis is more like maybe an earlier version of the D7, maybe like a D6 or something like that.
Davros is saying D5.
D5. Okay.
Which, yeah, I can see that.
So the Gladius, yep, Romulan ship. Because I think in Picard we also see we see a TOS era bird of prey, don't we? A Romulan bird of prey.
At some point.
I can't remember what episode it was. Yeah. Thanks, Davros, on that one. Then we have half a pizza cutter. The USS Intrepid.
Just call it the Cleaver.
The Cleaver, yeah. Yeah, she's the Federation. Not really much of a secondary hull. It's just flat.
Yeah, it's.
And then your two nacelles, and then your impulse engine right there in the back with the shuttle bay right above it.
Well, if you want to go minimalistic.
Mm-hmm. According to this, I think, didn't they have something similar in Enterprise or not? Because I'm reading the description. It said she came into service.
Yeah.
In search of this.
So, a ship with that style of look did get referenced in Enterprise, but also where the design really originated from was FASFA. The combat game from the late 70s, early 80s.
Okay.
But that's where actually Enterprise took some of their design cues were straight from FASFA.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, yeah, the Intrepid. I mean, she's a good battleship. Just the only thing with any battleship is slow. Their impulse. They got low impulse speed, but they've got some good weapons. And then we're moving up. Klingon ship, the Burrell class.
Yeah, a reskin of it, but
yeah, this particular class is they consider it an explorer class, so she's not really much of a combat class.
Explorer or scout?
She's classified as an explorer, so she's got high accuracy on attack and shields, but her armor. Let me see her armor. Her defense is a bit weak. And it also depends on the crew you have on board. Whatever crew you have on board can also affect these numbers as well.
Yeah.
So, and then now we're moving into the good stuff. I'm happy to have these guys. The Klingon D4. She's a fast little bugger. Not warp speed, but impulse speed. If you get the right crew, she can book. Because I think didn't they show this on Into Darkness? Wasn't that one of the ships that they intercepted by?
Yeah, these are the ones that they were essentially running from in Harry Mudd's ship in the first half of the movie.
Yeah, the D4. Yeah, of course, we got the Augur, which is like a souped up legionary version, and then it'll move up from there. She's a battleship. Got good health. Her health is high. and I think I said earlier, she's the one that she's got the obliterate cannon on her.
Yeah.
So as long as if you got the right crew on board, that actually will induce what's called the burning effect on the opponent's ship. It will increase, all weapon damage, and it says cumulative, so it stacks.
Nice.
Yeah, so if you got the right crew on board, you can do some serious damage with an auger. So, and of course, then I said we showed the Enterprise earlier. This is the skin I have on her right now. And of course, she's an explorer ship. Go figure. And they did how they brought TNG into this loop. I'm trying to remember the storyline, but somehow there was, of course, there was some sort of screw up in space time or the mycelial network somehow, and the TNG Enterprise showed up and crash landed on a planet.
Yeah, so the Viridian 3 damage. Nice.
Mm-hmm. So, and of course, the last ship, the Coffin.
Yeah, I just...
She's not her primary role is not really meant to go out and fight combat as much. She's for we have an area called territory capture. So her primary things is for holding on to capture nodes or attacking capture nodes depending on what crew you have on board. So that's about all she's good for.
Yeah, I just never got the point that they tried to come up with to justify that ship's existence.
Yeah, because I mean they had to bring it in somehow with the Discovery arc, so they had to bring the sarcophagus somehow. Go back because we do have. Let me see if I can't find it here. If I can remember where one of the zones are at. Here, I'll zoom out so you can really see. Because when you start out, you're usually down here in the low-level areas, and then as you level up, you work your way towards faction-controlled space. We actually have a augment-controlled space, and then they call this the exchange space. This is where Harry Mudd likes to hide out and stuff. So you take Costello or other ships there, and you go to the exchange central and defeat armadas and stuff like that. And of course, we have the Borg and the Mega Cube. Yes, this is the Mega Cube.
All right then.
Yep. And if you have enough ships with enough power, and you can take out one of these tractor beam or one of these nodes, you get some pretty good rewards off of it. Of course, with a strength of 100 million, you better have something.
Yeah, you better have a good fleet for that.
Yeah, and this is why these are classified as epic. If you go towards a standard board cube, these are your standard. These are also epic too. It looks like. Yep.
But
in this case, you're just attacking a cube and not a mega cube.
Yeah, well, when you look at it, this is
Mm-hmm.
those are 65% of the health of just one node on the mega cube.
Yeah, 38 million for the standard. This is the lowest level cube you can get. 38 million power. This is why when you are attacking cubes, you're using the Fadar, because the Fadar, if I showed you earlier, it does. Let me bring her. I was using her earlier today. It's got cybernetic augmentation. It does 35,000% damage against Borg hostiles.
Okay, then.
That's why you want to use the Fadar against Borg.
And you can have how many of those in a fleet?
Depends on the size of your fleet. Here, I'll show you. This is my space station. This is the J.J. Abrams space station look from the very first movie. So inside here, if you have, it's called right here, the Armada Control Center. This is what controls armadas. So right now I can have a size of 5 people in my fleet, but the higher you go, the more people you can have.
Yeah.
So the highest it goes right now, if I scroll it up to level 50, it can have a size of 7, and of course it gives a damage bonus of 100% too if you're the one that starts it.
Well, I was more thinking of how many of your own ships could you send?
One. You can only do one ship. So the idea behind this is you have to work with your alliance. So you want other people in your alliance to help you with the armadas. So you can have one. So if you start the armada, it's your ship, but you can also join other armadas too if someone else starts them. So yeah, inside of my space station, I've got another Stella here. She's just finishing up, I think. Let me see. Is she finishing building? Yep. She just finished building. That's the original skin on the Stella.
Okay, I was about to say, but she doesn't have as much red.
The red skin I just got recently through an event. What it does is, when applied, it increases how much I get from enemy ships by 300%. I think it is.
Oh, so it's not a speed boost.
No, it starts out at tier 1, and then you got to work your way up. So she just launched. Yeah, so I can actually scrap ships and I can build ships, which is pretty cool. So.
Orca and Morka are going to be disappointed.
Unfortunately, I'm not high enough level. Where is it? I have to be at least level 39 to build this puppy. The ISS jellyfish. Yeah, and they actually did. They did bring that arc, and they brought in the Mirror Universe arc as well. Hence, why we have the ISS ship. So yeah, you got research. This is your primary building, which is called your operations, your pretty much system ops. So I'm going through an upgrade. It takes 14 days. This isn't the longest. I've had people out there who've got upgrades that take 90 days or longer, depending on what ops level you're at.
Damn.
Yeah, because the higher you go, the longer it takes. So I've got the officers' lounge, or the academy. So the higher your academy, it increases your stat bonuses for each officer, warrior officer, by 1% for each level.
That's kind of cheap.
Yep. This is all my mining resources: dilithium, titanium. This is parasteel. So, if I fall below a certain threshold in my storage, these guys I can pull from here. I can also do missions. I can also pull from chests. So, research center with all the sub research that goes with it. This is the shipyard. the shipyard also handles refits, and the shipyard also gives you health bonuses and how many ships you can actually hold in your inventory.
Mm.
So.
So you're only one ship away from tapped out on that point.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I can't upgrade anything else until my ops level goes up. So I'm tapped out right now on building anything. So, and this is the new thing they just added, exocomps. Yes, I know. Here, I'll bring up the exocomp. So I have different types of exocomps.
You know, I will give Lower Decks this. Having an exocomp essentially give the crew a middle finger.
That was funny. I remember. I love that episode. She's like, "Fuck you guys."
I mean, because not everyone's gonna be that uber altruistic. Oh, let me sacrifice myself. At least in the TNG episode, it made sense because it was one of 3. So hey, there are 2 others.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's the ships we have, and of course then we have a hodgepodge of officers. So let me break them down by group. It might be easier. Then we'll start. I guess we'll start the lower end. Some officers I haven't unlocked yet. I'm still working on it. They actually brought in Sela.
They brought in Sela.
Yes, they did. Haven't got her unlocked yet. I hate it when it does this. Got Sela, Tomalak. I think he was in that. He was at the end of TNG, wasn't he, or in a few episodes of TNG?
Tomalak shows up multiple times in TNG as the quintessential Romulan commander that just happens to be there.
Exactly. Wasn't he played by the same actor who does Jakar from B5?
Yes.
That's what I thought. Yeah. So, yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, he does damage against Klingon targets. And he gives, if you have him on a cloak ship as captain, he gives an additional bonus, which is nice. So, Tomalak, I haven't unlocked Honor Guard Worf. I was talking about him earlier. They've got Martok. So, we're still finishing up this this leg of, or arc, as they call it, story arc. So, it's going to be like another 20-some days of arc. And the Gowron stare. Gotta have the Gowron. They call it the Glorious Gaze as his captain's ability. Deanna Troi, I haven't got her unlocked. I'm close, but I haven't got her yet. There actually is the TNG Deanna Troi. Not TNG, like the season 1 Deanna Troi, and then this is further down the line.
Mm-hmm.
So we got Riker. I like. He actually has. I like this, the Icarus factor. So he's got an interesting name, and then Vibrant Authority. I believe his season 1 officer. I'll get to it. He actually has. I think it's like the icon looks like. I think it has his foot up on a chair. You know that.
The Riker pose.
Yeah, the Riker pose. We got Picard. He's classified as an epic, making so. And we got the Engage maneuver. So haven't got him unlocked yet. Geordie LaForge. Field strip a fusion reactor. I like that. So he increases rewards drop by Armada targets if he's the captain of the ship when you attack Armadas. So you get more reward from that Armada, which is nice. And we've got Data, of course. I'm still working on unlocking it. Tasha Yar. Now this is a season 1 Tasha Yar because you can tell by the uniform.
It's the only season.
Yep.
Well, she did have that one reappearance in the.
Yeah, I think you're right.
The muddled timeline.
What was it? Yesterday's Enterprise, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And then we've got, TNG Worf.
Standard Worf.
Yep, Standard Worf. Yeah, it's interesting. After winning a battle for him, it increases the speed of the ship by 70%.
Oh, but it does not stack.
Yeah. And of course, all mitigation stats against non-player targets. So you wouldn't want to have him as a PvP crew.
Hmm.
We got Beverly. Hey, look, we got Wesley.
AKA cannon fodder.
Exactly. Well, it's interesting. I like his abilities. increases weapons damage against hostiles and armadas, but his secondary, Traveler's Scion, increases his own stats by 20%. So it's like, okay.
Selfish bastard.
Exactly. So it's like, you need to have him as captain for him to help his own abilities out. Okay, now here we go. There, the Riker Lean, that's what it's called. Yeah, see, this is like season 1 Riker.
Yep.
And the season 1, I think this is season 1 Beverly. Oh yeah,
Now-
the dancing doctor. This is when she was trying to teach Data to dance.
Yeah, so that'd be mid-run.
There we go.
There's the early Deanna.
Mm-hmm. In her non-Starfleet uniform. There's Geordi. Before he took on this role as engineer. Because I think he's a lieutenant junior grade, right?
That's a blacked out Pip, then yeah.
Yeah. And of course, Lieutenant Commander Data. Season 1. I haven't got her unlocked. I want to get more of her. This is Jayla. She actually helps. If you got her on the Franklin, and also, if you have her on the Franklin, she helps out the Franklin's stats.
Makes sense. It is home.
Hey, we have TOS Spock. So we'll get him because we actually did the TOS timeline too, where what happened was the J.J. Abrams Enterprise swapped places with the TOS Enterprise. So that was an interesting story arc. So yeah, we have TOS Kirk. Chekhov. Gotta have Chekhov. We've got Scotty. And of course, I like some of they call him the garbage cow. And she'll launch on time. Yep. So I like the names they come up with for some of their abilities, or the icons, because like I'll protect you. It's like that reminds me of that episode where he was shirtless and he had that was it a rapier?
Foil.
Foil. Thank you. There we go. McCoy. He's never happy. Damn it, Jim.
Just an old country doctor.
There we go. Uhura. So she comes in handy. I think she's used for mitigations. And then she's mainly good for... You use her against players. She's more PvP contact. Let's get into someone I don't have. I don't have him yet. Gotta go back to Discovery. Gabriel Lorca. There we go. Mirror Universe. Captain Tilly. Or as she's known as Captain Killy, as her name is, as they call her. Emperor Georgiou. Then we have regular Georgiou. Michael Burnham. Ash Tyler. Paul Stamets. There's 2 versions of Stamets here. This one, and then there's another one. This one, while he's on Discovery, it decreases the resources I use when I'm doing jumping and summoning, which is kind of nice. Saru. Regular Tilly. This is Cadet Tilly, technically, before she actually became an ensign. Ariam. She's dead. And when we were talking about earlier about Isilgen, she, as captain, she'll increase my mining rate by 40% if she's captain of the Meridian ship. So, Hugh Kobler. It's interesting. You have him and Stamets together.
Stamets.
He also increases the efficiency of jumping. So he's part of the bridge crew with Stamets. So it's like 40% reduction in my usage of resources just to jump the ship.
Damn.
Mm-hmm. Origins Burnham. Yeah, I've already got her maxed out. Yeah, Origins Stamets, the regular one. He increases the warp speed of a ship by 45%. Not the range, just the speed, so you can get to a location faster. Origin Saru. Yeah, we're moving into some assimilated crew members. 11 of 11. I haven't unlocked him yet.
Looks like
But
he's
he's-
supposed to be a Klingon.
Yes, he was. Increases speed. He's I'm trying to remember which Klingon he was. I think he's the Klingon Barrett. Let me take a look here. Yeah, Barrett. I have Barrett, so he's the assimilated form of Barrett. So, 3 of 11. She is the assimilated version of T'Pring. So, increases gas mining, protects. Just level 1 protected cargo by 300%. Yeah, that's just at level 1. So the higher you go, that increases. 6 of 11. He was. Krass. This is the assimilated version of Krass, the Klingon Krass. So he's good for Armada targets. 4 of 11. So we got some Klingon crew members you can get your hands on. 5 of 11. This is Jayla, an assimilated form of Jayla.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. And what she does is she increases deflection, armor, and dodge by 200%, and then increases the amount of resource drop by hostiles by 40. Now, this is, I haven't got her leveled up any further, but the higher level I go, this increases. So if she's on the bridge, I can increase the drop, how much I get from hostiles. And, of course, we have to have this.
Yeah, you gotta have the Borgified Tribble.
10 of 11. Yep. It was an interesting story arc when they did this. So they were hoping by having a Borgified Tribble, they can replicate fast. Technically, I should... Here, I'm going to hit him up one more time. Bing! Level up. So I just increased his mining speed by 120%. So while he's on the bridge, he'll increase the mining speed of whatever he's on. So that'll help. Because he's... Look at his health. 3,000.
Jeez.
Yeah. So yeah. 2 of 11. This is interesting. He doesn't really. He looks like an X-Borg. If you look at the way he looks. I think he is. Oh geez, we're getting lots to go through. Yeah, I think he was an X-Borg.
Yep, and it was the Romulans that.
Yeah. And then we have 7 of 11. This is like some of the... I think he's also Romulan. Or was Romulan. 1 of 11. I put him... He's Starfleet. I keep him on for storage. 8 of 11, another Borg. I think Klingon?
As a boar. Huh.
Daughter of Gorkin. This is
Gorkin's daughter.
Yeah. Yep. So it's an interesting look. 9 of 11, just another common Borg. There we go. Now we're getting into the cadets. Cadet Sulu, Uhura, Instructor Spock, and all the JJ stuff. McCoy, Kirk. Yeah, there's Krass. This is what he looks like when he's not a Borg. Krass, Claw, more Klingons. Vixis. Some of these names I recognize. Some are like, okay, they're just, made up, I guess.
Yeah, random.
Mm-hmm. Tar. Yeah, Gonzalez. Chen. She's a useful ship. Valken Bench. If I remember correctly, they showed him in the animated series, or not this person, but this alien, this race. Mm-hmm. If I'm not mistaken, but correct me if I'm wrong.
It looks like animated series.
Talon. And of course we gotta have an Andorian somewhere in here. Gayla, she's an Orion. I think she's from actual the JJ verse. She might have been the one that Kirk was with, remember?
Yes. That was Uhura's roommate.
Yes, that's what. Yep. And she was also the one that ended up on, which ship was it? The Yorktown or the Paragot?
The Farragut.
Right. Yeah, the one ship the ship that got blown up. Okay, I haven't unlocked. This is Harcourt Fenton Mudd. This is the mirror universe of Harry Mudd. I haven't unlocked him yet. This is Eurydice. I'm not sure what species she is. She's from the Delta Quadrant, I think. She's pretty much part of the Mudd's company, as it's called. So it's like Mud's crew. There's
Oh.
Mud.
Yeah, there's another version of Mud.
Yeah, this is it's supposed to be the prime version of Mud, and then there's a mirror universe version of Mud as well. So there's another alien, also part of the Mud's crew. Because I think he's let me see here, Hostiles and Armadas. The Mud had a daughter, I believe. Oh, half human, half Bajoran daughter. Yeah, which I didn't know. So she's a useful ship. Goon, not sure what species he is.
That doesn't look like Goon. He's too tall.
He was a Mako.
Mm.
Okay, so I'm not sure. Yeah. Another Orion. Not sure what he is. When I first saw him, I was like, what, Jem'Hadar? But I was like, nope, that's not Jem'Hadar. No. Oh, here we go. The Morani alien race. Okay. Okay, well, now we know. Hey, here we go.
Quick question.
Go ahead.
Do you get Harcourt Fenton Mudd's wife?
No, I haven't seen that one yet.
It would be amazing if you did, though.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Especially if it could be the Android version that you could replicate over and over. And over.
Jeez. Yeah, so we've got Abrams, one of Khan's crew. These are all augments. Some of these I don't even recognize. They're just people, they made up.
Yeah.
Katie, Jacqueline. Okay. Gary Mitchell. He's some sort of... He's from JJ verse. I can tell by the universe.
No, he was TOS.
He is Yeah, he is TOS. He is. When they went through the barrier, Gary Mitchell was the one who got the god powers and god complex.
Oh, yeah. Yep, you're right. But it's just like the uniform kind of matches more with it kind of looks like the JJ verse.
They put him in the JJ verse tunic, but but Gary Mitchell is
from the TOS timeline. Now we got Carol Marcus. So they have both Carol and her father in here too. Hey, we gotta have Kiesner. Gotta have him in here. Officer 0718. Remember, he was in which episode?
It's the JJ verse.
Yeah, he is. I'm just saying, where did we see him? Was he in the third movie or the second one? Beyond
second.
Yep.
Zara, he was on the bridge.
Mbenga. If I'm not mistaken, he was. If I'm not mistaken, staff. He was. If I'm not mistaken, was it him that was on the Enterprise before McCoy showed up, or was it his? Because I remember there was an Mbenga on the Enterprise during while Pike was in charge.
I can't remember.
No. Raphael Dupont. I'm not sure where he comes from. I really never looked him up.
Just checking my audio. Oh wait, it works. Good.
Yay. There's Barrett. Yep. My Klingon miner. Stone. I believe he is
Vulcan.
Yeah, I would say Vulcan. There's T'Pring. She's also my Vulcan miner. Another. Not sure. She's a miner also. She helps out with mining. And others, pretty much civilians. These are all civilians now. More Klingons. You'll love how big they're.
K-bitch.
K-bitch, yeah. Very well could be. Yeah, I'm going to use K-bitch on my bridge. K-bitch.
I love that name.
Yeah, K-bitch, yeah, K-bitch. Frank Leslie, I haven't unlocked him yet. Hendorf. Not sure. That sounds familiar, but I can't place him for some reason. And of course we have Pike. Maru. She's a good. Jeffrey Hadley. That name sounds familiar. I just can't place him. Darwin. There you go. John Harrison. So instead of having Khan, you have Harrison. His alter ego.
Yeah, you can blame Marcus for that one.
Yep. Right there. There's Marcus. Yuki Sulu. Yeah.
Section 31.
Oh, she was Hikaru. Oh, sister. I didn't know Sulu had a sister.
Some people didn't know Sulu had a daughter.
Yeah, I know. Yep. Another Section 31, folks. Haven't got him. He's a Romulan person. Charvanek. She's a very good officer here. Murik. Decius. Severus. Lots of Romulans.
I like how the Romulans are a mix of very obviously not Latin names and Latin names.
Yeah. Kuran, I haven't got him unlocked yet. Kang. This is the JJ Klingons. Because of the helmet they're wearing.
Ah.
Yeah. So you can see that they're all wearing the same helmet. Cog. Yep. Oh, here we go. Nero's crew. Nero. Leave us. Yep. So we just Vement. Kumok. Lots of Nero's crew here. There we go. Gorkin. This is like TOS Gorkin. There, we gotta have Chang.
You know, they didn't do terrible with those three.
Mm-mm. They actually got it pretty good. Kurla. I think he was also part of... He was part of...
Brigadier Kurla.
Yeah,
Kurla.
There's Koth. Yeah, I think you're right. Let me take a look here. No, doesn't give much.
No, it is Gorkin's, one of his advisors.
Oh, Watson, yeah. Emerald. Hey, look, we've got Kirk.
They still need to put the Shatner Kirk in there.
Oh, McCoy. Yeah, Spock. Yeah. Arkady Ivanov. Scotty. And of course, our only Orion crew member so far, you know, part of the syndicate. Hopefully they'll add more later. Sela, I haven't got her unlocked yet. Tomalak. I think Martok, yep.
Yeah, we're cycling back through. It is interesting how...
Yep, we are.
For like Sela and Tomalak, it's the pride of Romulus.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're talking about, here we go, the Shatner.
I love how you put that.
Yeah.
Well, you don't mess with the Shat.
Exactly. So that's the crews they've got so far, even if I have them unlocked or not. So they'll probably be adding more later down the road.
Well, it's not a question of if, but when.
When, yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see what they have showing up. So that's where I'm at in my game so far. But as I said, it's a massive. It's interesting. This where I'm at, I can't get to anything beyond here. Anything with a dotted red line, I have to get to level 40 if I'm not mistaken to get up here. Ops level 40 to unlock what they call deep space territory. Because deep space goes way, way up here. And someone just noticed this was added recently. That looks like a black hole.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't get there. I need a warp range of 205.
And your current range is?
41. with this ship that I've got equipped.
Okay.
The highest I can get to, I think, right now, with if I have the right crew, is about maybe 60. Yeah. So yeah. Someone said this is the universe's asshole.
Well, if the description fits.
Yeah. So yeah. So yeah, deep space is all out here. No, I'm nowhere even close to getting that all unlocked yet. And they've got room to add more. This is known as the territories, or origin spaces, as it's called, where we do alliances do territory captures. So, and different territories are owned by different tribes. So we have, oh crap, what's the name of these guys again?
Those look like the Tholians.
That's it, Tholians. So we have certain areas that are controlled by Tholians. Let's see if I can find someone different. The Suliban. We've got, let's see here, Suliban. Oh, Trill. We got run by the Trill. Let's see here. Even though they call this deep space, it's really not that deep. Tholian. They have someone else in
There's
here.
a lot of Tholians.
Yeah, there we go. The Bolians.
Bolians? I haven't even heard of those.
Remember the hairdresser on TNG?
Yep. And also in Voyager, there was a Bolian too. What's his name? Chell. He wanted to take over for Neelix.
Yeah, I think we skipped over that episode.
I'm not sure what race this guy is. I think, let me see here. Let me get some information on this. I don't know. Not sure, because there's actually, you run into what's known as the precursor race as well. So I'm not sure if this is one of them or it might be somebody else. Bolian. Oh, yeah. So yeah, we got quite a few. I think there's also the there we go.
The Breen.
The Breen. Yep. We also have the Breen. And that was one of the recent storylines you had to deal with, was why were the Breen and the Tholians attacking each other? They were being manipulated. So that was an interesting storyline. So yeah. So this is the idea for alliances to compete with each other and hold on to territories. And by holding on to territories, you have access to certain resources that have to be turned on. So let me pick this one and I will bring up. So the services you get, so you get, like, if you have them turned on, dodge enhancer, it applies for everything. And the thing is, you can't hold on to the zones for more than 7 days. You have to recompete for them. So if someone tries to come and take a zone, you have to defend to control it.
Yeah, so, that's where you get your routine faction wars in that area.
Yep, and that's the idea. But they made it so, the only way you can start taking a zone is like right here, right now. This is a takeover event right now in progress. This is a 3-star zone. This takeover event lasts 45 minutes, if not longer. So you have to, if someone was attacking you, you have to maintain it for 45 minutes and get the points needed.
So who's taking it over?
Right now, I don't think there's anyone, but let me find out. Let me grab a ship here. Where are you? If there's anybody in there. Sometimes, depending on the alliance, yes, I have to use Discovery. Because I can do this.
Can get there immediately.
Exactly. I can do Black Alert. See, once I'm in system, then I can get in the system. Because the way they have these takeovers is if you don't control the system, you can't see in it. So there's nobody trying to attempt for the system. So nothing to worry about there. But trust me, I've seen battles to the point where you can't even get into the system because you're at your ship limits.
Interesting.
Yeah. See, I can move down here. If I go to regular warp, it takes me about 42 seconds to get down there. So how it works is for takeover is you have 1-star, 2-star, 3-star. You have to start off with a 1-star. So if our alliance or nobody, if we didn't control any territories, we can attempt any one star on the map that's occupied or unoccupied. Like this is an unoccupied one right here. And if you're successfully taking it, then you have the warp lanes connecting it to adjacent systems. So then you won't be able to jump around the map. You have to do takeover of the adjacent systems. So in order to get a 2-star, you have to have a 1-star. Once you get to the 2-star, then the 2-star can attempt
leads you to the 3. Yeah.
Yep.
So at least they have it structured in that way, so you don't have people screwing shit up all over.
Oh, trust me, this map has changed quite a bit. Because they had, I think in the last arc or two, they actually had what was called a turf war. And what the turf war was you got like more points if you took over a system versus defending your current system. So what was happening is alliances were dropping their systems and going for takeovers elsewhere, and then dropping the system after they took it, just for the points. So this map looked a lot different before.
Wait, do the boundaries change as the map progresses?
Yeah.
Everything you can see here, this is all takeover, but yeah, you can see the color coding depending on the alliance who's controlling what. My alliance is down here in the purple.
Aw, that's excellent.
Well, depends on what we have, because each of these sectors have different services. They're not all the same. So like this one, we've got a piercing enhancer, isogen refinery, and an advanced phantom generator, which is a particle you need for research. So it is strategic sometimes in which zones you want to control.
Yes.
Based on what services you want. So as you can see, this entire, it's hard to see, but this is controlled by an alliance. So they're stretched out way over here. So it opens them up to potential from people around them if they try to challenge them. So a lot of people, we try to group up, but there are certain ways to get certain. So we got all down here, all the way here. So yeah, it can get quite intensive for these takeovers. Because, when you do a takeover, you don't just send one ship, you send all your ships. Because I'll pull up a system here. I think I've jumped into a system, didn't I? Where am I? This is one of the what a takeover system kind of looks like. These are your capture nodes. You have to keep a ship on the capture node to get the most points. So the objective is to get the enemy ship off the capture node.
Flood it.
Yep. You can still get points with ships in the system, but you only get 1 point. If you have a ship on the capture node, you get 3 points, and you get points every minute.
An interesting gameplay mechanic to dictate strategy.
Yep, and this is where the sarcophagus come into play, is because you want them on a cap node. While the sarcophagus is on a capture node during a takeover event, you can attack with the sarcophagus too. But while the sarcophagus is on the node, it increases damage. It gives out while on the cap node. So that's why the sarcophagus was created for the cap, because before that it was just put a ship on there and go nuts. And try to hold it, so you always want to have your most powerful ship on there. Some people just flood the system with, cheap ships like the Realta or the Orion battleship or something like that, just to have a ship in the system to get you points. Now the nice thing about the sarcophagus, it doesn't have to be on a cap node. It says either a cap node or on a mining node, one of these isogen mining nodes, during a TC event to get its bonus. But you want it on the cap node for the extra points. So.
Because you got the buff on the buff at that point.
Exactly. And it also depends on your crew. You can there are certain crews out there that are meant for holding the nodes, and then there's certain crews out there for taking you off the node to attack your ship. So let me see. Right now, this event, they're actually doing a Borg event. So let me see if there's anybody up here playing around in Borg probe space. I'm sure there's people up here that are just catching up. As you can see, we're taking out some Borg probes. Lots of radars. Vidar everywhere. This is the Borg probe that you attack. These little itty bitty things. But yeah, because of today's event, all the Borg space, Borg probe spaces are being, this one mainly. This is the highest one that I know of, unless there's another one. But this is the highest level Borg probe space, so this is where a lot of people go to if you can get a ship here. You get your Vidar here. So as you can see, lots of player ships in here just floating around. Now, what they did do in this case, Borg probe ships or Borg probe space, you have to use you have to actually use a transwarp cell to get there. The only way to get transwarp cells is you have to have a Vidar first. Once you unlock the Vidar, then automatically every day they'll give you 2 transwarp cells. You can only have a maximum 8, and it'll stop giving you more.
So use them wisely.
Exactly. Now you can stack up beyond 8 if you have other events that give you more transwarp cells. You can go beyond 8, but the system
the
will
daily allowance only gives you that.
Exactly. A daily allowance of 8. Yeah. Same thing with the cloaking device. The cloaking device is not indefinite. Once you attack a ship in cloak, you have a 5-minute timer cooldown before you can cloak again. And then there's also, you have to spend what's called Tetrion to cloak your ship. So let me pull up my Centaurian here, and I'll give you an example here. My base. This is like a Suliban nomad ship, but yeah. So if I were to bring my ship out, come out today. Didn't know he goes sideways. It's a game glitch. So if I hit cloak, it tells me what's going to happen. These are I spend what's called Tetrions, and you also get a daily allowance of 65 a day. You can only have a max of 200 of these, and the system will stop. So if I hit cloak, I'll just spend it just to show you. Ship disappears. Can't. And the thing is, once you hit cloak, the other players shouldn't be able to see you. So if anybody in your alliance, so if I go and hit him, game glitch. As you can see here, there's a timer. This yellow timer is how long I can stay cloaked for until I attack. Once I attack, and come on,
you got the timer.
There's a cooldown timer before I can cloak again. So if I bring up, actually, let me see. I'll bring that up. This is the battle log. He didn't even stand a chance. Because for one thing, there's a big level difference between a level 18 ship and a level 30 Centauri.
And look at the strength there at the top, though, too.
Well, here, and then of course the crew that I have on board. The one crew member, negative 50% to hostile penetration, negative 30% to energy damage dealt by hostile if they have an energy ship. And then here we go. There's the damage I mitigate, receive, and how much the interceptor dealt. They didn't do much because it wasn't a big ship. And the damage I dealt.
Damn.
This is just round 1. I've seen battle logs that are almost 30 rounds long. Even though what you saw there was like, 5-second battle. But the battle log behind it, goes on forever. So let me just see if we can find something a little bigger. Real quick here. I'll throw you up here. Retrieve you. We're out mining. Yeah, so the bigger the ship, or the more powerful the ship, the longer the battle takes, even though it only lasts like 5 seconds. Before this game, when this game was in its infancy, you didn't even have that battle animation. It was just kind of sit there, and wait.
Wait to see which one went away.
Yeah, exactly. They've definitely done a lot more quality of life enhancements. Like before, you see how these icons, you got the star, the drill, and depending on what system, they didn't have that before, so you didn't know what type of ship you were attacking unless you zoomed in to see the actual ship, the type of ship you were attacking, or you clicked on it to see a picture of it. So this makes it a lot easier to determine what kind of ship you're attacking, because they do have, if you click here, you have the combat triangle. So it tells you what ship has better does better against what type of ship. So battleship against explorer, explorer versus interceptor, interceptor versus battleship, hence the triangle. But, you know, armada targets and surveys and defense platforms they're nowhere in the triangle. So in this case, let's see here, I've got an explorer. Yeah, see, going up against another explorer, I'm equal footing. If I went up against a interceptor, I would get a bonus. I would get an attack bonus on that ship because it's a different class. Okay, where are you? He's still in warp. Warp, warp, warp. I like the warp effect. Like it constantly curving.
It reminds me of a
there we go.
different type of conduit.
Okay. So let me... Kind of like what? Doctor Who?
Sliders.
You're right. Let me just pick up on Miner here. He's kind of sliding sideways. Pew, pew, pew. I gotta shoot my pew-pews at him. Okay, so in this case, his battle log should be a lot bigger. How many rounds did I have? Let's bring it up here. 1 round. Okay, I need something bigger.
Still one.
Still one. You can see how much damage I mitigated, how much I received, and how much, you know, he put out. So let me find something. I didn't get... this is going to take me a while to get to. Let's go up here to Babel. Hey, look, we do have a wolf. We do have wolf. There is a wolf system. I think there is. You know, you can recognize some of these system names. The Sol system, Tellar, Deneb, Alpha Centauri.
Is that Barnard's?
Yeah, the Barnard star. Terra Nova, Trill. So a lot of the systems you recognize from supposed to be in the universe. Talseti.
Is that Pajem?
Yep, Pajem right here. Pajem is mostly a mining area. Mostly mines gas, but also it's got player housing planet, so you can actually move your space station to one of the hubs here if it's open. A lot of these are pretty filled in. Yeah, this system's constantly full. Everybody's mining gas because it's one of the needed resources. Oh crap! I didn't know we were. Am I missing a takeover event? I am. Oh crap! And look how long it takes. Almost 59 minutes is how long the takeover is. So, that means I need to get some ships over there.
Get to work.
I'm not worried about crew outs. I just need ships. Let me get my. Got to send the coffin, unfortunately. And then for these guys, I just send some cheap shit. Let's send the jelly, the OG jelly. Let's see what else.
And the OG jelly, from what I remember, wasn't a bad ship either.
No, she wasn't. Yeah, I'll send a Sally this time. Okay, I didn't realize what was going on. So, where are we at here? Which system is it? This one. Oh yeah, that's why. 3-star. It's almost an hour-long takeover. Let's see if anything open. Anything open? No, I'll just send the ship and then I'll move them as needed. Usually, what most people do is they move their base into the system into an open slot, as long as the planet has an open slot, and then deploy your ships from there. But you have to have all your ships in the base to move it. You can't just,
You can't abandon your ships.
The only time you can, the only time you can move, or before they changed it, the only time you can move your base, unless there was one ship, because before you couldn't even see in the system unless you had a ship in the system or your base was in the system. So if you didn't have anything in the system, like here, I can't. The view system option's not available. I can't even see it unless there's a ship in there, one of my ships. But they've changed it now with, as long as we control the territory, we can see in our own system. But if we didn't control it, you can't see it. And that was a pain in the butt. We actually had to send a ship there to see what was going on. So I've got those ships, as you can see, warp times. It's all based on the speed of the ships. It's all based on warp speed. So my Sally's at a 16.9 with a warp range. So she's the fastest out of the three. Even the Jelly, not a slow ship, but not a very, very good warp range. And of course, the Coffin. Now, of course, all those warp speeds and stuff is augmented by my research. So if I didn't have any research, it'd be slow as shit.
And crew.
It'd probably take me like 3 or 4 minutes to get out here.
Instead of 2.
Yeah, instead of 2. Or if I had the Discovery out here, once I have the Discovery out here, then the Discovery has a summon option where I can summon the other 3 ships without traveling through warp.
Interesting.
But you have to use processed mycelium, which is one of the mining materials you have to go get.
Yeah, everything has its cost.
Yep. Well, yeah, just like the ship, when you tear it up, it costs resources, and some of those resources are not cheap. It's like when we first went from a tier 2 to a tier 3 ship, it's like, holy shit, that's expensive. Because you have to refine your stuff every day or twice a day. You
gotta get your shit in order.
Yeah, see, I'm not high enough where I have grade 4 yet. Okay, let's see if I can find an open node. If not, I can just drop in one of mine. Let's see, is the system full? Oh, somebody over here is taking up a spot. Ooh, my ship's over
Now, here's the question, since I have a fully functional voice mod.
Hey, what's up, Iggy?
Do I want to go on like this? Or do I want to go on like something else and really infuriate the trolls?
Look, it's an Enterprise.
Although, if I do it the other way, I will lose like most of my voice deadening shit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, here's a ship I don't have access to yet. This is one of the advanced miners. This one's for mining gas, mainly.
Interesting. And at this point, Nikki, flip a coin. See what happens. Let the fates decide.
There's a Valdor. There's one of my players has a Valdor. Look at the power strength on that puppy.
Yeah, slight advantage over yours.
And it also depends on what level it's at, what tier it's at. Let me see if I scan it again. I mean, he's level 42, but I don't know what tier his Valdor is at. Let me see if it brings it up. He's only at a tier 2.
God damn.
Here's the worst thing, too, is I don't know how you guys will hear me.
Well, if you got it set up right, if you got the virtual input set to the voice mod on Google Hangout, make sure you check that in Google Hangout.
That's what I'm getting ready to check right now.
Okay.
It sounds like it's working.
If you got the voice, if you just changed. Oh yeah, here's a Katinga.
No, hold on. Let me make sure.
Look at that. A level 35. The level 35 tier 7 Katinga. It's at 14 million power.
Jeez.
Yeah, versus my Sally. She's only at a level 30.
Oh, it is coming through voice mod.
Yep, we're
yeah,
here.
now it is.
Yay!
I love this skin right here.
How is it sounding?
Little tinny, but definitely fits the character.
Mm-hmm.
How about now?
No.
Sounds good.
Yep. I like it. They gave the constellation skin to the jellyfish.
I just turned the pitch down a little bit.
Okay.
Interesting that they put it on the jellyfish.
Yeah, I know. I thought they would give it to the Enterprise because it's the Constitution class, but they gave it to the Jelly. Well, it's an interesting skin.
And there's the skin for the ISS jelly on top of that.
Yes, yeah. If you have the ISS Jelly, that's what you have to get. Yep.
So, Jared, did you catch the bit where Crafty's still harping on the fact that male VTubers should not be behind women VTuber characters?
Yeah, see, here's the thing with that town bicycle. Not everyone wants to go for a ride, so she really should shut up.
Because see, you don't know how bad I'm tempting. Be like, hey, Cyrus. I know I never interact with you that much, but I do watch your channel and I do, sub to you on Twitter. You might want to check into this bitch because you're a male VTuber that uses a female avatar.
Hey, I mean, the best disinfectant for stupid is to shine a light on it.
Exactly. Let's see if we got any other fun ships out here. Oh. Oh no, this is a standard D3.
Mm.
Before they actually have, you can't get it anymore. It was called the Klingon Separatist version of the D3. It was back before they introduced actual refit skin. They didn't even have the refit program, so they just created a variant of the same class ship you had to earn. Hence the hijack ships.
Yeah.
Is this, what's this? Another? Oh, there's a Bortus. Oh, there we go. There we go.
Ooh,
TOS skin.
There's the pretty one.
Mm-hmm. And that's on top of the standard Enterprise.
As
J.J.
it
Abrams.
should be.
And I like the crew. He's got Kirk, he's got Uhura, and then he's using Marcus as his bridge crew. Because the way the Enterprise works is she gets an ability, as long as the ship has morale, her shields are constantly refreshing faster. So by having Kirk here, it gives morale. As long as the ship has morale, it gives more damage. 80% chance to inspire morale for one round when the ship's health points are below is 30%. Is above
30%.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, can I also say, I bought a Steam Deck and I was going to use it for actual streaming. Or Stream Deck, excuse me. You know what? I don't need to. It works perfectly for the mundane tasks that I usually want it for.
There you
go. Oh, there's another one.
That's another constellation skinned.
Oh, what background do I want?
Some people like to they put the Realta out here in TC because it's so cheap to rebuild and send back out. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's a spam attack.
Yeah. Here you go. There's a JJ Enterprise.
Yeah.
What background should I put on here?
Mm-hmm. Let me see. Let me see. Is he let? Nope, he's still in the node. See, here's you were talking about earlier. There's the Kelvin.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's they call her the glass cannon. I mean, she's supposed to have pretty good. She's got good attack and health, but her defense is shit. Let me see. Yeah, I like her warp speed 30, warp range 135. I'm nowhere near that. It's going to be a while before I get to her. Get to
that level of performance.
Yeah, because it's all based on what's called ops level. So he's ops 43. So yeah, he's well above me. So yeah, since there's no one attacking us, we just leave the ships here, and up here in the corner, we're gathering points. Every minute, the points update. And what makes this 3-star system harder to defend? 3 sectors. You have 3 systems to defend against.
Mm.
So that's what makes it harder. You have an alpha, beta, and a gamma sector. Most other systems, as you can tell, only 2. And the way most TCs usually work is you start off, you want to attack the beta system first because that's where the majority of the capture nodes are. There's more capture nodes in a beta than there is in an alpha system.
Interesting how it's set up that way.
Yeah, because the alpha systems is where you actually have your bases. So you can actually move your bases to the alpha system. So you can't be in both systems at once. So it's a strategy thing. Okay, let's see.
Yeah, fuck the strategy. Just go balls out.
Oh, yeah, we've had that hit where people just show up and go nuts. Okay, here we go. A 1.3 million power cargo ship. Let's see what the battle log looks like now. This should be a little longer than just one round.
Got a little marauding going on.
Shoot my pew pews there.
And still got the victory. Let's see how many rounds.
He did some damage. He did some shield damage and some hull damage. Let's see what... We got 4 rounds.
Four. Okay.
4 rounds. So, as you can see, yep. And in this case, yeah, at the end of 1 round, my weapon has to charge back up. Second round, he attacks. It's an H-class freighter. Only does like 9,000 damage.
But still did something.
Yep,
But-
he did. And then I dealed back, and it shows what he mitigated and how much he took. So, and this is how it's going to break down. And with an armada, you actually get to see what everybody's attack was like. So not just you, everybody else in your armada. So you can see what their ships were doing, or what were they contributing to the fight. So
If anything.
Exactly. It depends on your crew, who you have on board as a crew. So let me here. I'll attack a patrol person. Dink, 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 dink.
Bink.
Now I have an
Bink.
advantage over the
Bink.
patrol because it's a scout versus an interceptor. Victory. Yeah, see, he did a lot more damage to me.
Mm.
So let's see what the battle log looks like. 2 rounds.
Okay.
But as you can see, he did more. He actually did more damage to me. Damage. We went back and forth here in 1 round. Ding, 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 ding.
Ding, ding.
I mean, the ding, 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 ding is starting to
Yeah.
sound way too much like.
Ding, ding.
Yep.
Ding, ding,
Here,
ding,
round
ding,
2.
Ding, ding,
Yep.
ding. Ding,
I
ding,
dealt
ding, ding,
damage. His shields were depleted. He charged his weapons, and then I fired and killed him. So let's see here. So yeah, the rounds can get really intense. Let me see if I can't find something a little bit more. I would go to Soul System, but I can't handle, a level 60 or level 49. 24 million power on the transport.
Yeah, it would be kind of sad to lose against
And that's a
a
regular
cargo
transport.
ship.
This is a heavy transport, and that they're even tougher. Even though the power is the same, they're a little tougher on armor and defense. So let me go down here. Let me see, what system is this?
Groombridge?
Hmm?
That's quite the name.
Oh yeah, Groom. I'm not sure where the name comes from.
Someone got bored.
Yep. Oh yeah, here's an example of an armada, like space stations or supply docks. As you can see. Yeah. I need a little bit more firepower to go up against it.
Just
Health is 28 million. Yeah, if I try to go up against it in this ship, I'd die. Now we just wait until my ship gets here, where the other 3 are just, hanging out during a territory takeover, which I forgot about. And of course, you get to play around with your avatars, which is kind of cool. All kinds of avatars. Yeah, when the game first started, there was like, I don't even think there really was an avatar. It was just the badge, and then these 3 came out. Got to have your red, blue, and then it started coming. They started releasing avatars based on events.
factions and characters.
There we
and-
go.
I'm sorry. I'm getting enthralled by my own poop jiggle.
Got to have a holiday sweater avatar.
That is quite the sweater.
Mm-hmm. Oh, here you go. You gotta have Data's cat Spot.
Aw.
Oh God, look at Worf with the teacup.
Yep. It was called Good Tea, Nice House. I got that back in August. Exocomps when that came around during the Klingon, the House of Martok, Romulan, the Duality arc. That's the name of the arc that we're still dealing with. It's called Duality.
Mm.
I like the Thanksgiving.
Is that one for mobile?
What's that?
Is that one for mobile?
This is a mobile game. Yeah, it's free to play. They actually now they have released the PC version too, so you can play it on your computer as well. So
Oh,
you
that's
can
just odd.
so you can play it on your computer and then while your mobile still play it.
Yeah, at least it's properly cross-platform.
Yep. Oh yeah. The Constellation Avatar. Yeah, I like this one. This was doing a Tribble event. I got it. It's the Jayla Tribble.
T2, what you mean? You mean Microsoft, fucking over Sony people? Is it making it cross-platform?
Oh, not just that. There is a game that is both on Epic and on Steam that the cross-platform connectivity between the two doesn't like to work.
Oh.
Would that be a certain specific game?
Call of the Wild.
Oh yeah.
I wonder why.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder what those locked events are.
Down here, some of them I missed or I couldn't do because I didn't make it into the event in time. Like the Doomsday event, they brought the Doomsday creature into a series of events. I'll show you where.
What
that's
is that
at.
big fluffy thing in the picture? Is that a creature?
This?
Yeah.
That's a Tribble.
It's a Tribble.
Oh, it's a Tribble.
Yeah, that's what Jayla would look like if she was a Tribble.
Aw, it looks cute. I like how cute the Tribbles look.
Yeah, that was I was number 2 in the leaderboard for that. So I got the Jayla Tribble for that one. So yeah, so you got your avatars and then you got your frames that go around your avatar depending on what. And this was the other frame you went with it, the April Fool's Tribble frame.
Aww.
So yeah.
Who the fuck is this person?
Hey,
So some of these.
Some people really like to go furry, so let them.
Yep. So let me. Here, I'll show you. There actually is down here. Doomsday Spaces, it's called. Because they added. Oh, here they are. They added Doomsday Worms.
The fuck?
Exactly.
What are those things?
It's supposed to be, playing off the Doomsday device off of the TOS.
Ah.
But these are like juvenile worms. Let me see if I can't find an actual Doomsday. Let me see, am I in the right system? Or are these still the worms? Nope, these are still the worms. One more. More like this, right? This is the actual Doomsday itself. And along the edges of the Doomsday, you do armadas and attack the fissures. So what this is the actual Doomsday itself. You're not actually attacking. It's like the Mega Cube event. You're not actually attacking the Mega Cube. You're attacking the surrounding parts of it. So what those are, like juvenile Doomsday worms as they're growing up or something like that. That's what they call Doomsday worms. So they're like, so it's an interesting idea for them. They tried. I'll give you that. Okay, let's back to here. Let's see if we can get a bigger battle log. Something I'm gonna die on. There, we'll go after him.
It might help if I get the fucking camera actually pointed at my face. Well, no, I switched setups slightly to my phone because it's got a better camera than the webcam.
Gotcha. Okay, let's see. Will my Centaurian live or will he die? He lived.
Excellent.
Nice.
Let's see if the battle log looks like. Yeah, wow. Took a lot more on the shields that time.
I mean, to be fair, if I wanted, like, super badass face tracking, I'd need an iPhone. But...
Okay, here we go, Jared. A 21-round event.
Jesus Christ.
Yep. Even though, as you saw, it only took like 5 seconds, the battle log shows 21 rounds is how long it actually took.
Is that like actual different missions, or is that like...
That was just attacking one hostile. This was just attacking one hostile.
So it does all the rounds automatically and without
It
you
does
having to-
everything. It does everything in the background for you. You don't have to tell it to. All you do is click on attack the target. That's all you do. In the background, it does the log and all the calculations for you. So it's based on and it's all based on what kind of crew you have. If that takes into effect, as you can see, all the damage I'm doing, all the damage it takes back and forth, back
So
and
did
forth.
the other ship get destroyed?
Yes, it did.
Awesome.
Yeah. See, it go boom, and it shows how much damage I took on that.
Hmm.
Now the shield will regenerate, but my hull will not. So the hull will keep going down until I'm completely destroyed, or I go back to base.
Well, that's because hull regeneration is silly.
Yeah, so that's why you don't have hull. Now you could probably mitigate that depending on the crew you have too, but yeah, and you can do that. You can mitigate your shield loss too. So if I were to try to attack another target as soon as possible between attacks, the shields won't be at full strength. So let me see if I may hit this guy right here. There's two ships right here. These are Mayflowers. So now this is I'm gonna take more of a hit.
So I have to sign off briefly. I'll be back on later, probably in the Discord server.
Okay. I'll see. I didn't lose any shield at all. Those guys are weaks.
So good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.
Let's get down here. See, I took like no shield damage from those guys. Let me see here. Yeah, I took very little shield damage.
All right, yeah, I gotta pop out the chat.
No problem.
No. I mean, like the actual chat, because the way I have my lighting set up, yeah.
Okay, so
So I don't need that up there anymore.
let's see here if I can get it to do it. Now, yeah, see, what I was trying to do is if I can get a big enough target, you can actually see the shield. I can attack again before the shield has a chance to regenerate. And that you can actually do that, but then you suffer in battle too because you won't have full shields. And if you have no shields on the next attack, it's all hull damage from that point on. So it takes that into account. Let's see, here's somebody attacking. He's
This
using
is why Star Trek would never survive in the Eve universe.
Yeah, see, I like this alliance. I like their name. Their name is the Kobayashi Maru. That's the name of their alliance. So yep, back to base, and I'll find something else. I'll find something bigger. But yeah, the game's quite interesting. I mean, it's been 3 years working now, so ships everywhere, stuff everywhere. This map has expanded quite a bit. Yeah, they've added this. Was recent, not recent, but probably within the last year.
That's usually recent.
Yeah. But yeah, they've expanded the deep space, and of course, as you can see, there's still a lot more openings they can still expand. Expand upon.
I mean, not even up to Voyager did they cover all of the.
We haven't got up to Voyager yet. We're still in the TNG era, dealing with the duality arc of Klingon-Romulan War.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, because we've done TOS, we've done Discovery, we've done Mirror Universe, we've done Harry Mudd. We did a storyline with Mudd, and that couple of them. We did the Precursors. The Precursors is what started off the whole territory capture origin space thing. So that was an interesting storyline. I've got some missions I can't complete because I need to be high enough level. I need to be at least level 38 or 39 to complete, and they're like some of the TOS arcs or higher. But the Mirror Universe, that was an interesting arc. That's when they introduced the ISS Jellyfish. So being that this is its own storyline, this game doesn't follow canon.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
But at least you ain't getting a stupid crossover with Doctor Who.
No, I don't think they'll ever do a crossover with any other sci-fi show in here. So, and as you can see, my ship's slowly making its way back.
Oh, this bitch now decides to fucking. Okay.
So yeah, there's a lot that goes on in this game. If you're not mining resources, you're out doing other things or other events. So in this case, yep, you got territory capture going on. If your alliance is at war with somebody, then you have to watch out and watch your ships to make sure they don't get destroyed while they're mining. That's always fun. And we've been at war many times. So, yeah, and that's the other thing is the lower level systems, like as you can see, they're like level 9, 10. You start out in a level 1, level 2 system and work your way up. Just slowly work your way up. You don't actually really get into the rest of this until you get to level 15. And once you get into level 15, that's where you have to start tending your base shields. Because if you don't put your shield up on your base or station, other players can attack you and try to raid your resources. So, like, here's an example. You can see someone's base doesn't have their shield up. And because they don't have their shield up, I can see what ships they have in dock. And if I scan it, I can see what resources they may have on board. Now, I already know because of how low these resources are. It's what we call vaulted. There, you have a protected cargo on your station, just like you do in your miners and ships. So once you get that threshold, you can't steal any more resources from a station.
Yeah, it's basically so you can't take all of the resources of another player.
Exactly. I mean, and that's what those generators are for. So, yeah. So the generators here, right now I've got nothing to collect because I'm above the threshold up here. Parasteel, titanium, and the lithium. So if I click on it, I've got a 9 million protected, and I'm over my limit by 2.2 billion.
Hey, Burns, can you give me a second?
Sure.
I need to present.
Well, I'm not the one presenting. It's Jared's got me.
Yeah, I just had him pinned.
That's fine. I just need to present something real quick. Jared,
Go right ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
So, I called a person out on Twitter because I saw him in Craft Tequila's side chat, and that's what he said. This was his response.
Oh.
You want to see what I just responded?
So he's a retard. Some people just don't get it, and they will never get it because all the blood flow's going to the wrong place.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I gotta check my... Got away missions I gotta collect. Yay! Yeah, that's something to add. Away missions now. So while your crew that are not assigned to a ship are doing nothing, you can assign them to
they're not
away
useless?
missions. Yeah, you can actually use them to get resources. Get my daily chest here. Okay, so let me recrew my Enterprise and put a proper crew on her. Yeah, as long as the ship has morale, the Enterprise heals the shield's health by 9% whenever it gets hit. That's its current ability.
So it's like the chair of the disciplinary committee from Hinoji Academy. The more you hit him, the harder he gets.
Yeah. Okay. Why? Oh, I can't assign him until I complete.
Yeah, Kill Kill is a good series.
It is. Come on, waiting. Okay, which one are you on? Oh, you're on the very last one here. 1 hour. Let me speed up the. That's one thing I can speed up my retrieval here.
God damn, he got salty quick on that too.
Of course.
Holy shit!
Maybe you should tell him it's okay. You might eventually get your own ride on the town bicycle.
I wasn't gonna go there.
Okay.
And then I go,
You know what? At this point, why not? Why not go there?
I went kind of close. I mean, the perfect little Irish girl is so perfect. Come at me, bro. If this is the best you got for a comeback, you don't even know me very well.
Mm-hmm.
Now, remember, I've been on Jim's Little Corners channel with his ass in the fucking side chat, and we've been cordial. He don't know me too well.
Okay, let's find something.
Well, while you are looking for that, it's time for a short break, and it will be just a short break of only just over 10 minutes this time, and then we'll be back with a proper debauchery.
Yay.
Because why the hell not? Nice, easy, properly lubricated start to the year. Wait a minute. Did I actually say that? Fuck.